I don't know, what is your assessment with these attacks? Are they going to change it? What would happen? What would come through these attacks for the United States?
Well, a couple of things come to mind. The attacks that Iran launched last night in response to the U.S. attack must have done some serious damage. Otherwise, if it was light damage and inconsequential, I don't think the United States would be responding. Now, the United States, as you notice, doesn't actually describe damage that has occurred. There's that. But it comes back to the point I was making yesterday on some other shows, which was the attack yesterday combined with that leak to the New York Times, David Sanger, about the negotiations surrounding the nuclear issue. I think all of that, this was all designed to stage, to create a narrative so that Trump can now walk away from the peace talks. I think over the week, it was a battle for the mind of Donald Trump over the weekend. Initially, there were those who thought he would sign on, that there was a deal, that it would have required some concessions from the United States, but the Zionists, not just Bibi, the Zionists, which covers, both the Jews that are Zionists and the Christians who are Zionists, they mounted a full court press on Donald Trump. And whatever inclinations he previously had to support the agreement that was being hammered out in Islamabad, he decided to blow it up. And that is exactly what he's doing. This is the end of the negotiations, end of the agreement, until this is, I think, will now spark a sustained escalation. I think, Iran hit them last night and then didn't continue. It limited its response. It had a limited response last night, just going after Bahrain, Kuwait, and Jordan, the Muwafiq al-Salti air base. But I would think now, in light of what the United States is both publicly, they come out and say it in public. Yeah, we're going to hit them hard tonight. It's like, what? I don't even begin to understand that. That there's no there's no justification for this attack. So this is the end of the ceasefire, and we'll return to battles until we see at such time that the United States will come begging again for Pakistan or whoever to see if they can talk Iran into another ceasefire. And hopefully, from my standpoint, Iran tells them to go fuck off.
Yeah. Here is the latest news, Larry. The analyst ship missiles launched toward U.S. warship in the Sea of Oman. And that report that here Mehr News in Iran just confirmed that they have intercepted a cruise missile that was supposed to hit petrochemical plants in Asaluya.
Mm-hmm. And that's important right there, that they are intercepting a cruise missile. We weren't seeing them do a lot of interceptions of cruise missiles previously.
Yeah. It seems that improvement that they were talking about in terms of the air defense system is just working. Because with all the attacks, Israeli attack on Iran and last night American attack, they didn't get close to the Iranian borders. It's far away from the borders. They're trying to hit the targets inside Iran. That's why you see mostly the attacks are happening close to the Persian Gulf, close to the borders.
Yeah, no, I think part of it's also premised on the belief, U.S. if they destroy enough, sensors, weapon systems, and communication systems that are right there on that align the strait, that will then prevent Iran from being able to stop U.S. sending ships through the strait. I think it's the U.S. grossly underestimates and misunderstands Iran's capabilities, which extend they're not right there on the coast, but extend inland and are underwater. We haven't seen any the engagement yet from underwater drones. Of course, if Iran now, they do have those reportedly Chinese anti-ship missiles that might have more than a range of 200 miles. So they could conceivably start engaging U.S. ships offshore. I think, I think now Trump and his team have they screwed themselves. They really think that this is going to break Iran. They really do believe themselves when they say, "Oh, that Iran's army is broken, the military is defeated, they have no capability, they're just the economy is a disaster." So it's up to
breaking
Iran.
News, Larry.
Yeah.
Yediot Ahronoth, the Israeli publication, the Israeli media just reported that it seems that the U.S. warship got hit by Iranian anti-ship missile, and it's reported on Israeli media that they hit the U.S. warship. And there are some reports that in the airport in Bandar Abbas, again close to the Strait of Hormuz, close to the Persian Gulf, they hit the airport in Bandar Abbas, and that remains to be confirmed. The Iranian hitting U.S. warship, but it was reported in Yediot Ahronoth.
Yediot. I think Yediot.
Israeli. Israeli.
There it is. I see it. Ahronoth, I think it is.
Ahronoth.
Ahronoth.
Yediot Ahronoth. Yeah.
That'll be if that happens, and again, if it sets the ship on fire, if they sink a ship, good Lord, this is going to really bring the pressure on Trump, because again, he initiated this. They tried to create. I think they absolutely lied about Iran didn't fire on that Apache helicopter. That was used as an excuse, a pretext. Because if I've said all along, if the United States was really serious about negotiating with Iran and about ending this through negotiations, they would have overlooked even if Iran had done it. I think it's one possible scenario is that that helicopter hit a drone, it exploded, shrapnel from that drone got sucked into the engines of the Apache, and that's what caused the helicopter to go down. Trump's explanation that the head of the drone, because it was one of these big ass drones, was embedded in the cockpit. That's this is a complete lie, complete fabrication. But the other big news, what we're seeing today, is we've now got confirmed interceptions of cruise missiles by Iran, something they were not doing 12 weeks ago. So that's going to, and maybe the U.S. saw the deployment of these new systems, because I bet you these are they're either Russian or Chinese, and now Iran has deployed them, and maybe that's what the United States is going after to try to destroy. And instead, the U.S. is losing its cruise missiles, which it doesn't have a lot to lose.
But when it comes, Larry, to that story about Apache helicopter, is it possible for a drone to go after a helicopter and hit the helicopter? Are they?
Well, yeah,
it's difficult.
It's possible, but if it hits the helicopter's coming down. If it's a drone with an explosive warhead, that would cause that helicopter to fall from the sky like a brick, and the pilots would have been killed. That's why I say the story. So the story they're telling doesn't make sense.
Israel, Larry, has an objective in this war, and they want to change the equation that Iran has established in the region, the attack. And the Iranian response to any Israeli aggression on Lebanon. On the other hand, Donald Trump is talking about the only reason that he's trying to do this. He said that today he wants to change the Iranian position in the negotiations. If that was going to happen, it would have happened during the first round of war. I mean, the second round of war.
Okay, so I'm negotiating with you, and you're not giving me what I want. So therefore, I'm going to kick you in the balls and punch you in the nose in order to get your cooperation. He's been watching too many mobster movies. That's what you do to somebody who's weak and can't punch back. But when you are Iran and you're quite capable of punching back, you're strong enough. All of a sudden, doing that is only going to further enrage. It's not going to make you want to cooperate with me. It's going to make you want to destroy me, to stop me from hurting you. God, this, I can't express enough my complete disgust with what Donald Trump has become. Maybe he was this all along, but he's now starting the war up. I guess he waited until the markets were closed today. I just wanted to check here to see. The NASDAQ went down 950, almost 1,000 points. So the chip sell-off worsens. Trump threatens more attacks. Oh, there's a good idea. And well, what's oilprice.com doing? Have you looked at that?
Let me check it. But what's so amazing to me?
Oh, look.
What's so amazing to me that today we had the Qatari delegation in Iran talking with Iranians, trying to make. What is that?
Trump waited. They waited until the Qataris had left the area, right?
Yeah, exactly.
They waited until they left and said, "Okay, now let's attack them." So this is. I don't see the other Gulf Arabs, including UAE, starting to line up and say, "By God, we're going to stand by the United States." This is, I think this is headed towards a level of escalation that will go on for, another couple of weeks, and then the United States will be begging to stop it, which will send a further message that the U.S. is much weaker. I mean, for Trump to do this, it darkens, puts a cloud over the World Cup. It puts, and plus you got coming up, the 4th of July celebrations now are less than 3 weeks away, 4 weeks away. So we got 23 weeks, exactly 4 weeks away. So. And the United States is going to be embroiled in a war of choice.
Israeli Channel 11 reported that Israel is not involved in the attacks on Iran. And this is just amazing that Israel is just putting the United States in the front line, then they're getting, they're saying that they're not part of this, which the whole agenda is the Israeli agenda.
I mean, this makes no sense. Yeah, I mean, it really does. It's like, what is Trump doing? Why are they doing this? Because, it's not like yesterday I thought Iran could have, because of the attacks that took place in southern Lebanon and on Tyre yesterday, that Iran, under its new doctrine, would have attacked Israel as well. They stood off. They didn't do it. As I said, they had a limited response yesterday. So I guess I'm curious to see what they're going to do today. Are they going to expand their attacks, or are they going to again limit them? But yesterday Jordan said, "Oh, we took down 5 of 5 missiles. That not a one got through." I don't believe that for a minute. And in fact, maybe, as I said, U.S. did more damage yesterday than they've admitted, which is one of the motivations for this strike. But the one thing Iran has, is it's got intelligence support from both China and Russia, including location of U.S. ships, including inbound attacks, turning aircraft, taking off. So, and I suspect they're getting it real time now.
I think the reason that they're saying Israel is not part of this operation because of the Ben Gurion airport that is full of American aircrafts. And I don't know if Iran would attack Israel on their airport, Ben Gurion airport, which is full of the refueling tankers, aircraft, and all over.
No, I mean, just from a pure tactical standpoint, yes, they should. They should wipe it out. Sorry, but, I just got to notice one of my older cousins died. So,
wow.
So, but she
so sorry to hear that.
Good long life, and but she's a big fan of the blog. Of course, she was yelling at me recently for being anti-Trump.
Wow.
Now that she's passed, she may discover the truth. So, anyway, sorry.
Larry, Iran is right now, the second round of attacks is happening in Iraqi Kurdistan, is attacking them. I don't know what is happening in Erbil. And because every time something happens, they're attacking Erbil. And now, the two attacks on Erbil.
My guess is it's a CIA operation that equipping, training Iraqi Kurdish fighters to be able to penetrate Iran and take territory, assassinate officials, etc. And I think, I don't know if Iran got it through its intelligence or through Russian intelligence, but whoever provided it, they are certainly going to preempt it.
Yeah.
And it'd be interesting now to see what Turkey does in light of the latest threats from Israel. The fact that Bibi Netanyahu threatened them today. Wait, you muted yourself.
Can you hear me?
Now I hear you.
Here is the footage. It seems that the footage is coming out from the region. I don't know if that's. Let me just bring it up. The footage of the American warship being hit. Yeah. Being hit by, Iranian missile. The footage of the ship on fire. No, off the coast of Oman. It's not the warship. It's the ship off the coast of Oman being on fire.
Yeah. Isn't that the ship that the U.S. hit?
No, it didn't say who did
it. No, I'm telling you, the U.S. earlier today off the coast of Oman hit a ship. That wouldn't, look at it's dark over there now. So that picture doesn't make sense because it's clearly light. Sun's still up. And if I'm not mistaken, so it's 6:30 here. Is it not? It's
it's at night. It's because it's not
2 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, it's 2 a.m. It's something like, yes, let me 6. Yeah, it's gonna be 1:30 a.m. It's something like that.
Yeah. So it's,
Larry,
go ahead.
Israeli media reported that Iran hit the warship with a hypersonic missile. Yeah. It's still unconfirmed. It's still unconfirmed. They're saying that. They're still unconfirmed, the Israeli media. Yedioth Aronoth. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The name is so difficult to pronounce. And I think, Larry, what has happened last night when the attack on Sirik Island, they attacked 2 water tankers, the water supply in the Sirik Island. If the things go in that direction, because as we talk, a new attack is happening on Bandar Abbas. If the United States start attacking the oil supply, the water supply in these cities, we're going to see the same thing happening with the GCC countries, maybe going to Israel. I don't know if Iran would hit desalination plants.
Mm-hmm.
My understanding is that's not their policy. But if the United States continue with these sort of attacks on water supply, they may change their attitude.
Well, yeah, I guess I don't see Iran punishing if the Saudis were not involved with these attacks or the Qataris, then I don't see Iran punishing them for the sins of the United States. Um, but Iran could, if they retaliated against anybody, it would probably be against Israel, knock out Israel's water supply. Yeah, and so that would uh, that would have will send a message. See, this is it's escalating, and for no good reason. I mean, that's what's crazy about this. This is another war of choice by Donald Trump. He had a ceasefire. Well, it was sort of a ceasefire. The United States has been violating that ceasefire for weeks, but it's escalated to a new level.
Yeah. Trump on Fox News says the next targets will be bridges and power plants. I would wonder what he's seeking by those targets. What does he want from these sort of attacks if he does that? But he's talking about it. I think he's getting serious with those attacks.
So this is just simply to inflict pain on the civilian population. Let me draw a parallel with you to compare that. If in Ukraine, if the Russians are knocking out bridges that are behind the front lines, they are trying to cut lines of communication so that new supplies cannot be brought to the troops on the front line, which will then weaken those troops and force them to surrender or retreat. That's not the case here. It's not like the United States has an invading army. This is just simply to cause harm and hit targets that right now have no military relevance, because the underground factories, their power plants, I'm pretty sure are also buried underground, so they're not, they can continue operating while the civilians above ground are going to be hurt. Yeah, this is we're at the start of something big and terrible.
Politico reported that the President of the United States, Donald Trump, will not attend the first U.S. hosted match of FIFA World Cup between the United States and Paraguay in Los Angeles on Friday. And he's gonna be busy with the fight. I don't know. They said for hours. It's gonna be hours, less than 1 day, less than 24 hours. It's gonna be 2 days, 3 days. How is that gonna work? Because if it lasts more than 5 or 6 days, it's gonna be full out war. Is that right?
Yeah, it is. That's how Iran's going to have to look at it. The Pakistanis are desperately trying to salvage the Islamabad Accord, but I think even now they're realizing that's not going to happen. I honestly don't know why Iran is even negotiating with the United States, because the United States has been agreement incapable, to quote Sergei Lavrov. So I think the next time the United States comes begging Iran for a ceasefire and to sit down at the negotiating table, I think Iran should say, okay, you got to do two things. You got to lift the sanctions immediately, unfreeze our assets. Then we'll sit down and talk. You got to show something in good faith that you are serious, because we've been through your bullshit now for 3 months, and you're not a serious country. I mean, they've had repeated agreements that they thought were ready to go, and then Trump walks away from it.
Yeah. Here is footage of F-14 Tomcat active in Isfahan. And it seems that they're getting in the sky to take care of the drones. I don't know, maybe or maybe fighter jets? Are they going to get to the borders to fight?
No, I don't.
the
I don't think. I don't think you're going to see F-35s coming in to fly over Iranian territory, or even F-16s, F-18s. They'd be insane to do that now, because I think, as we're seeing with the reported interceptions of cruise missiles, Iran's air defense system's been upgraded, and I don't think they want to send in some new aircraft to find out how effective it is.
Larry, I think the Israeli aim and objective, which is the impunity with the ongoing war, they want to attack all these countries around them. Basically, I'm talking about Lebanon. They want to attack Lebanon without having any sort of response, without having any sort of attack in response to what they're doing to Lebanon. That's why that's the main goal of Israelis right now. Today, we had the Israeli prime minister and Israeli president talking with Lebanese people and saying, and with the Lebanese, president saying that we don't consider you as our enemy. You are not our enemy. Our enemy is Hezbollah. We want to hit Hezbollah. We are at war with Hezbollah, but we are friend of Lebanese people and Lebanese government. And they're trying to do their best. They did everything. You remember the way they did before the war against Iran started. They said, we are people of Iran. We are your friend. This is the enemy is your government. We're going to remove your government. They're doing the same in Lebanon.
Yeah, well, the Lebanese people, all they have to do is look out their window and see how friendly Israel is. They've been killing Christians, and not only Muslims, but Christians.